All right. Well, welcome everybody to another edition of Labor Live at 5. I'm one of your hosts, Rick Levy, with the Texas AFL-CIO. And with us today is Secretary Treasurer, what's your name?
Leonard Aguilar, sir.
Yes, sir. Leonard Aguilar, sir. And we are here. And for those of you who are the more observant viewers of Labor Live at 5, I think you'll notice that Leonard and I both have ties on. We're like all fancified. Why is that, Leonard? Why are you wearing a tie today, Leonard?
Wearing the tie today because we are in the last 7 days of the legislative session. So we are having to go across the street every so often and go help, working for our members.
That's it. And so, we've been over there a lot today. Tomorrow is the last day that bills that have passed the Senate can pass the House. So there's a lot of really bad stuff on the calendar. And we want to just talk to y'all a little bit about what's at stake because, this whole session, it's been difficult to make sure that our voices get heard in the session to the legislators. And we want to make sure that everybody knows what's at stake as we head into this final week. The bottom line so far is, I would say, Leonard, I don't know how you would say it, this session has been like miserable. I think just some of the stuff that has been shoved down our throats over there is it's just really despicable, is what I would say. I mean, this is like your first session as a Texas AFL-CIO Secretary Treasurer. What's your take on it?
This one is tough. This one, I've been around for I think 4 sessions now, and this one is definitely a little bit difficult to deal with. It's especially getting towards the end here and having so many of the bad bills. I guess there were a lot of them, but having so many pile up here at the end that we're having to try to fend off is really a difficult thing to do and go through right now. So yeah, this is a tough one for sure.
Yeah. So let's get into a little bit about it. The first bill that I think we're really concerned about is SB 14. And SB 14 is the bill that the business community has made their number one priority to eliminate the ability of local governments to do anything with respect to wages and conditions and working conditions that people face. So, for example, it would make illegal ordinances like Austin and Dallas have passed, which require construction employers to actually give a rest break to the employees. Now, I guess I don't understand like what is so evil about giving employees in construction a rest break, Leonard. I mean, you've worked construction your whole life. What does that look like to you?
It doesn't make any sense for that. I mean, Austin and Dallas have worked with the community and taken a lot of time and effort to get these things done for their local areas, and to have the state legislature try to reverse that is something that shouldn't be happening right now. And it as a construction worker, and it's been many years since I've worked out there, but it's something that shouldn't be done. I mean, we should be doing everything to lift workers and give them all the safeties and precautions that we can afford them. And just a rest break and some water isn't too much to ask.
It's not too much. So other things that would affect things like sick leave ordinances, like several cities in Texas have passed ordinances that require employers to give you an opportunity to earn sick leave as we come out of this pandemic. Some cities have required employers to provide notice when they're going to change your schedule so you can actually plan your life and not just be subject to their whims about when you have to come to work. Those things would all be illegal, and folks that have those protections now would lose those protections under Senate Bill 14. So what we're asking people to do is, look, this bill is scheduled to be the first bill that they debate on Tuesday. What's today? Today Monday? Yeah, we were here till midnight last night. Today is Monday. It feels like Friday, but it's Monday. And so we're asking everybody to please click on the link, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, or whether you're like most of my friends, you're watching on Twitch, that you can make sure that you click. And what that'll do is give you a link to tell your state rep to please vote no on Senate Bill 14. And I'll tell you this, The Restaurant Association, which is one of the big proponents of these bills, has been trying to get their members to all call in and write in. And so, brothers and sisters, please let us not get out organized by the restaurant industry. Please post this link wherever you see it, wherever you post things, post it, get your friends to do it, get your coworkers to do it, and make sure that every legislator in that building knows that working people oppose Senate Bill 14. That graphic, put that graphic back up if you would, Mark. That is not a picture of our digital strategist. That is a picture that our digital strategist has developed to make sure that folks know that that bill is up tomorrow, and we think this bill is the devil. I know that Dallas did it. Cindy, I see you working on it. But look, we gotta make sure that this goes far and wide. Everybody needs to step up and do this. We are trying to get the companies to come to the table and negotiate. The only way that they're going to negotiate is if they start to feel the heat and worry that the pressure is getting too hard. So it's just like in collective bargaining, y'all. You can have the best negotiators in the world sitting at the table with you, but unless the people express their solidarity behind you, then the boss doesn't have any reason to listen to what you're saying. So this is a really critical part of getting our message heard at the Capitol, and we would really appreciate anything you can do in the next 36 hours to make sure that this gets shared far and wide. I've done it. Leonard, have you done it?
I've done it. I did it this morning and shared it with a few friends, emailed them. I think I even put it on Twitter, but
yeah. So let's talk about Twitter. Let's talk about Twitter, Leonard, because this is cool. If you're out in the audience and you know what Twitter is, raise your hand. Okay, good. All right. So one of the things that Mark has really put together that's cool is that you can click to tweet. So all you got to do is click on the link, and there's a link in there, Mark. I think I'm right, where you can just click and say, here, I'll tweet this. And if we get thousands of people tweeting the same thing, legislators will take notice and they'll see that this bill is coming up. I was over there a little while ago, and they're starting to feel the heat. Our allies at Workers Defense have been really pounding them on why are you taking away rest breaks? And I think that issue is getting a little hot, and we've started to see a little crack in their foundation to where we might be able to address that issue. So please keep up the good work on that. Right, Leonard?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's just as simple as sharing it on whatever platform you have that we're able to. And Mark and the team have made it easy. Again, just click on it, and it takes literally a few seconds to go ahead and get it done. Right. And that will get your voice heard, and it makes a big difference in the Capitol over there, and we would appreciate it.
Yep. So that's if that was the worst thing that was happening and the only thing that was happening, that would be bad. But unfortunately, there's a lot more. There's another bill that's coming up. It's 5 bills after Senate Bill 14. That's Senate Bill 321, which is the bill that changes the pension for state employees, and it converts the defined benefit pension plan that so many state workers have come to rely on. And for all new employees, it makes it into a cash balance plan that is much more susceptible to the ups and downs of the stock market, and is much more uncertain as to what somebody's pension will actually be. One of the things now that people can do is, you work for the state, if you work this long and you're this old, you're going to get this much money. You can plan your life. A lot of people, in addition to being called to public service and coming to work for the state, a lot of people really value that pension. And this is a really ugly situation, because what they've done with this bill is they popped it out overnight, with very late in the session, without consulting with any employee groups, and are trying to ram that one through as well. So we are asking people to, again, when you after you get through killing Senate Bill 14, let's stand up for state employees and their pensions. We also have a link there that you can click and send something to your folks on that. AFSCME and TSEU, Texas State Employees Union, Communication Workers of America, have been over in the Capitol 24/7, knocking on every door, talking to every staff person, every representative, and it makes a difference. But it also is great if folks that aren't there could also add their voice to the process. Okay, so here's the thing, Leonard. Like, we're working this thing. So like when there's two of us here, and like I stop like talking a little bit. That's like, I mean, I know we'll work on it because we've already been working together.
Yes, sir.
At that point, it's like, that would be a signal for you to like come in and say, yeah, blah, blah, or, whatever you're fixing to say.
Well, we're not going to say blah, blah. We're going to say that you got to go ahead and click on the link and make sure to get a hold of your state representative. And the same thing as Senate Bill 14. I mean, this is something where they need to hear our voice. And the bad thing is there are so many bills. I think we're going to reference 3 or 4 of them today on Labor Live at 5. But I mean, there have been dozens and dozens of bills that are dangerous and that we have been working on, and even more than that. I mean, there have been lots of bills that we've been working on, and the entire staff here at the Texas AFL-CIO has been working since the session began, and it's been difficult doing this during the pandemic because the Capitol has not been easy to navigate with all this going on. So we really need y'all's help, and really to get this point across and make this last push is something that we're asking and hoping you can do. Well,
the other bills that are not finally across the finish line is there's still a lot of negotiations on all the voter suppression bills, HB 7 and SB 6, or is it SB 6 and HB 7? I don't know. Those bills were passed in different forms through the House and the Senate. Both of them are horrible, criminalizing all kinds of voter conduct, making it much more difficult to vote. And we have effectively in this state made it to where we are continuing to create barriers to people voting. I think the Republican leadership was very unnerved by the level of activity they saw on our side, and rather than continue to compete on the basis of their ideas, is now just trying to make it harder and harder for us to vote. And I don't know if people, is anybody out there, if y'all have ever worked in an election, I'm talking about working as a election clerk or an election judge or a precinct captain or anything like that. The scary thing about what these bills do is they're trying to really give much more power to partisan poll watchers to interfere with the process, to intimidate voters, to intimidate election officials, to criminalize conduct of election officials in trying to hold poll watchers from interfering. And it's almost like a vigilante justice system that they're trying to set up at the polls. We had one really chilling video where the Republican Party was trying to recruit poll watchers from the suburbs and had circled all these precincts in Houston where there were predominantly voters of color, and saying how we needed to recruit folks to go down to these polling places and make sure that their presence was felt. I mean, it's a very conscious effort to intimidate and deny people access to the ballots. And so we're going to be continuing to put pressure on the legislature on those issues as well, because that's the whole game. If we're ever going to change this state, it's going to be by organizing, but it's also going to be by voting. And so we'll be working on those as well. What else are you looking at, Leonard?
Well, there's a bunch of other bills, but I mean, Senate Bill 518 dealing with the prevailing wage. That's another big one that will affect the way that wages are determined for construction workers in the state of Texas. So that one is coming up, and that is on the calendar again for tomorrow, for Tuesday, and I believe that's like on the 3rd page. I think, if I could be wrong, but again, still on the calendar. And just like everything else that's up there, we're having to fight to try to stop these bad things that are basically attacking.
That one's so bogus though. So right now when public money is used in construction, they have to pay a wage that matches what's basically the market value in the community. And so it gives them 2 ways to figure out what that is. They can either use the federal standard that exists for all the communities, or they can do their own they can do their own survey and go by those language. What this bill says is if you don't like either of those 2 ones, you can do it a 3rd way where you can basically pick however low you want the wages to be and use that. So all it is a way for employers to pay less money to construction workers. I mean, that's all the bill is. That's the sole purpose of the bill, is to cut pay for construction workers. So that's something, again. And can I take a little time out for a commercial? You know, all these actions that you see, these that Mark has posted in the links, these are all like actions that we've set up and that Mark and our graphic arts person, Savannah, have put together to really capture people's attention and make it so easy for folks to engage. So please honor their work and use these links. We really need you to do it, and we appreciate Mark and Savannah for the work they did in making that happen. So,
yeah, without a doubt, they're doing great work and putting this together. And like I said earlier, the entire team is putting stuff together and getting those emails that are going out as well, and the social media and the Action Network stuff. It's all needed, and it's all part of a team effort to get it done.
So basically, y'all, look, there's over 750 emails sent today. Let's get over 1,000. So, look, from now until next Monday, which is when the legislature is over, we're going to be over there fighting. We'd love to take your voice in there with us. So please engage and let us know how it goes. Post your results, see what kind of responses you get, and we'll go from there. We send out our legislative update all the time. So you should be on our list for there. You can sign up anytime to get those continued updates, right? So I think we actually got to get back over there now. So we're probably going to cut this a little short today. We are meeting with legislators on Senate Bill 14 and trying to figure out what's happening with that. So if y'all will excuse us, we're going to head over there. But Leonard, before we go, any last minute comments?
No, I just appreciate the work that everybody's doing. Again, the staff here at the Texas AFL-CIO, our community partners that are working, and then everybody that's out there on the job every day. I mean, we're doing this because of you. That's why we're here, and we appreciate the support, and we're going to keep working for you. And we got to let them know we're here. That's the biggest thing. If they don't know we're here, they're not going to listen. So let's keep up the noise.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks, Leonard, and thanks everybody for tuning in. And next week, I think we have a really well. I'm not gonna say it because the ink isn't dry on the contract for our guest next week, but I think it's going to be really cool. Make sure you tune in. It'll be next Tuesday because next Monday is Memorial Day. We'll be staggering to the finish line of the legislative session, so hopefully we won't be having to wear ties next Tuesday when we come back, and we'll have Labor Live at 5 on Tuesday, special edition. So, at any rate, thank you all so much for joining us. Stay strong, and let's go. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks.